The recent PlayStation State of Play event gave us a ton of Death Stranding 2 content to try and digest, and if there's one thing we know about Hideo Kojima, it's that he loves his Easter eggs and getting the viewers to try and think outside of the box, which is kind of ironic considering we spent so much of our childhoods living inside the box.
Just a box.
The first piece of information we got is the game officially has a title, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Not entirely sure how I feel about that, to be honest, but we also got an exclusive look at some gameplay, and we're reassured that Norman Reedus, Troy Baker, and Leah Seydoux will be returning for the project. Reedus will reprise his role as Sam Bridges, but this time he has a brand new puppet companion to keep him company. As we've come to expect with Hideo, the trailer is a hot mess in the best way possible, with many confusing visuals and one extremely weird scene with an unborn baby, releasing some weird type of tech device into the person's body who is carrying the baby. The official synopsis gives us a bit more clarity as to what we can expect in Death Stranding 2, as it says you will embark on an inspiring mission of human connection beyond the UCA. Sam, with companions by his side, sets out on a new journey to save humanity from extinction. Join them as they traverse a world beset by otherworldly enemies, obstacles, and a haunting question: should we have connected? Step by step, legendary game creator Hideo Kojima changes the world once again. We finally got a bit of insight into the role actress Elle Fanning has in the sequel, as we got the first look at the actress in the game. The trailer shows Sam Bridges working for a civilian entity known as Drawbridge, who seem to have a generous patron, with Bridges once again tasked with trying to unite the world and bring new areas into the network. One thing that is immediately noticeable in the trailer is this game plans to be much more ambitious than the OG entry, as it features numerous different environments for you to traverse across. The interesting part about this trailer is how the story begins to develop, as Hideo previously spoke about how he had to completely rewrite the script of Death Stranding 2, as he didn't want to predict any more future. I mean, it's a valid point, as you only need to look at Metal Gear Solid 2 to see just how eerily close to predicting the future Hideo was back in the early 2000s. The gameplay is as weird and wild as we could expect, with the trailer showcasing a robotic samurai version of Higgs, fully equipped with an electric guitar. Who knows? Could this be a nod towards another potential collab with the iconic Bring Me the Horizon for the soundtrack? The good news, it seems like Kojima Productions may have listened to some of the walking simulator feedback from the original title, as the trailer hints that weapons and combat will be a much bigger part of the sequel. This is showcased when Fragile takes Sam to the armory, giving us a sneak peek into some old favourite weapons, while showing a range of assault rifles, the sticky gun, and the beloved trusty rope from the OG game. Eagle-eyed viewers will have spotted some welcome additions too, as the armory shows a sniper rifle, rocket launcher, and what looks to be a heavy machine gun. And these don't appear to be just for show either, as it seems the gameplay is actually moving away from the tactical espionage action to a more run-and-gun approach, if you wish, as the trailer shows Sam actively seeking out camps of robots and engaging in a firefight with them, instead of just simply sneaking past them. The new threat seems to be an army of armed robots controlled by Higgs, and considering the combat was mainly shied away from in the first entry, this is a welcome change of pace in the sequel. And speaking of changes of pace, a small detail that will make a huge difference in the game was highlighted too. Sam can finally take off his bloody backpack. The backpack weight management system in Death Stranding was by far one of the most tedious aspects of the game, constantly having to switch between menus to manage your cargo. So the joy I felt when I saw Sam remove his backpack was unreal, as the trailer shows Sam removed it just before he starts a fight with a bunch of robots. It might seem like a small detail, but again, this is another nod that we could be getting a more action-focused Death Stranding game, which I'm personally all for. By far one of the things that blew my mind during the trailer was the absolutely stunning night cycle and dynamic weather hazards. In the original, it was constantly daytime, but the trailer showcases a night cycle with Sam running down a highway at night, and it looks absolutely stunning. And if that's not enough to keep you on your toes, we now have these amazing interactive dynamic weather hazards to worry about too, as the trailer shows Sam having to navigate a flash flood through a dry riverbed, later followed by a rock slide triggering a potential earthquake. Considering the amount of ground you have to cover on foot, this is another welcome addition, as you have to think on the spot and adapt to the dynamic weather hazards. Speaking of covering ground, the trailer showcases two vehicles that seem to have been revamped models of previous designs, with the cargo truck and electric trike both making cameos, providing more options for you to navigate the treacherous terrain of Death Stranding 2. Considering the original Death Stranding was very much like Marmite, you either loved it or hated it, there was no in between. I'm personally super happy that Kojima Productions seem like they've taken the feedback on board and are shifting the focus of the game to a much more action-based title, while still keeping all of the beloved intricacies of the original that made it such a beautifully weird game. We're super hyped at GG Recon to hear more about Death Stranding 2, so make sure to subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates, smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and while we've got your attention, go check out this video.